How do you feel just kind of going into another season,
Yeah.
as Ethan said, kind of turning the page?
Yeah, it's great to get back out here. It's great to finally get the full team out here and be able to do things here together. Really start the preparation and the games and the inter squads and stuff like that, and start putting things in place and watching guys compete. It's just it's great. We've got great weather, obviously, and so we're going to take full advantage.
Bringing in Coach Ned, what went into that hire, and how high of a ceiling can he raise to the pitching staff?
Yeah, well, we've known Sned for a long time. He's an ultra successful guy that is an excellent communicator. He's had all the success that you can stand and see and at his previous stops, and so when we had an opportunity to talk with him, we were very excited about it. I'm excited about what I'm seeing right now from him and the guys. I think they're developing a great relationship. He's communicating well. He's got a plan for every guy, and I think there's going to be a lot of growth as they go through the fall.
What are some of the major goals that y'all want to accomplish, during the fall in order to establish a foundation for the season?
Well, everybody's got to keep getting better. The thing that we wanted as coaches is we wanted to create competition all over the field, to have players and have options for virtually every position on the field, where there's competition for the starting role, where guys have got to keep pushing and getting better, and I think we've achieved that. I'm excited to get out here and be able to see it. We want to get better on the mound. We want to start to kind of figure out our roles and different things like that that'll take place in the springtime. All those types of things are things that we're going to be working on throughout this fall.
This is probably the most continuity you've had roster-wise when you've been here. What does it mean to have guys like Enzo, Tyjo, and Wes who can anchor the lineup?
Yeah, I mean, we return a lot of guys on the position player side of things for sure, and they've had success, and it's good to keep them here. It was awesome to keep everybody here throughout the summer, and the guys decide that they want to be back here and continue to build the program and continue to do this, and they're taking good leadership roles right now. When you return that many guys and they're all hungry for success, then it's a really good thing, and we've got some good leadership going on out here right now, and that's exciting.
What expectations do you have for some of those guys coming back from injuries that were out?
Yeah, you know what? Most of them are making real progress. Virtually all of them are making real progress. Some of them are actually going to be involved in the inter-squad games full speed right now. Some of them are still waiting to get clearance to be able to throw and do those things. We're going to do what we can, but at the same time be smart enough that we're not putting anybody at risk to lose them for the spring. So, but they're chomping at the bit. They're all chomping at the bit, and so we just got to be smart in how we're utilizing them and trying to use them the best we can so that they can keep growing and getting healthy. But it's exciting to see. You lose as many guys as we did out of the lineup early in the year. To see those guys come back, and I think they're all really kind of ahead of where I thought that they would be at this point in time. So that's exciting.
Building the program. What are some of the next steps you want to see kind of in the fall leading up into the
we just got to keep getting better, but we got to win, and it's tough to build if you can't keep your guys here. And so I was thrilled that the guys all wanted to stay. That they wanted to stay. This is where they want to be. This is who they want to be with. Those are all good things, because we've had a couple of tough years as we've gone through them, and so as we keep building, the time the idea is to get good and win, and that's the plan, is to continue to make those steps and be able to do that.
Which newcomers have really stood out to you so far?
Well, we got some guys on the mound, some young guys on the mound, some JUCO guys on the mound, that we're expecting big things from, that we've seen some really good things from. I'm excited about what we saw through the first inter-squad game there on the mound. Position player-wise, got some young guys as well. On the mound, I'd probably say that Carson Bailey was exciting the other day to see him get out there and go. But we've got some transfers, Caleb Bunch, and I'm anxious to see Bryson Bales get going as we get him ramped back up. So there's plenty of guys on the mound. Stephon Stahl and Lucas Davenport on the mound have all been good as well. We'll look forward to seeing Caleb Jamison as well. So, on the mound, those guys are doing a nice job. Position player-wise, there's been several guys. Virtually every guy, there's something there that you really like. They bring a different level, I think, of athleticism. They're in good shape. They're pretty good, strong, physical athletes. Being here throughout the summer was big for them, and they're learning how to work out and play fall baseball and college baseball right now. So it's exciting to see.
With Coach Snedeker coming in, I know it's early, but is there any major differences you've seen maybe in just the pitching performances early on?
Well, I think that the whole focus every time that they're throwing is about strikes, and you know, we're going to keep them healthy as we go about that. But being able to throw multiple pitches for strikes, challenging the zone, trusting your stuff. He's been great at sending that message, and the guys have been receptive and are receiving it. Being quick to the plate, controlling the running game, and you know, limiting stuff like that's a focus already, which is great to see. So he just brings a lot of experience. I think the guys can really buy into the experience, buy into, you know, the years that he's done this, and you know, anytime you've had the success that he has had, it makes it easier to believe in that, oh yeah, this guy's going to help us get better.
Much like spring football, how important is this time for you guys?
Huge for us as coaches, huge for us to see our team to kind of to experiment with some guys. Can this guy do this? Who gives us the best options here and there? Like I said, we've got great competition. You know, I mean, we want our infielders to be able to play multiple positions, so it's great for us to see, you know, who we could put at third base, who we could put at second, who we could put at short. What are our options there? And you're trying to do that, number one, for competition, but you're doing it, number two, for injury purposes in the springtime too. Who do we know that we can go to if we need to do that? And so this is huge for us. The fall baseball is always huge in college baseball.
How has Ethan, you know, grown into more of a leadership position, being he's one of the guys that's been here for a couple of years?
Yeah, you know, he's just always been a mature guy, right? Always been that guy. But as you get out there as a freshman and you compete and do well, and then as a sophomore your role grows, and you come back as a junior year, you know, it's expected. And so, you know, there's several of those guys that we've empowered right from the beginning. Hey, man, take it and run. Let's go. You do things right every day, and so help everybody else take the right steps as well. And he's been fantastic with that.
Y'all lost Mason to the draft, but how huge was it to get Braden Bergman on campus?
Great to get Braden here, no doubt. Big arm. We'll be excited to see him as we can get him ready when that time comes. And you know, he's a kid that throws the ball really hard. You know, we did well coming through the draft with the high school kids. We're excited about the what we have, and you know, there's multiple of them. There's several of them that are guys that you can really dream on, and so. You know, that's exciting. We just got to now grow them up every day.
Now that you've had a few freshman classes come through, do you feel like this is kind of the most depth you've had so far in your tenure?
Oh yeah, I think without question, in my view, I think this is the most depth we've had both on the mound and position player wise. I think that it's exciting to see. And you know, when I say that there's competition on the field, there's definite competition at every position, and it'll be fun kind of sifting through the guys and sifting through the options that we have and watching the cream rise to the top.
The tie and being in the Cape this summer, you know, how much experience did you gain from that, and how much better did you get this offseason?
The talent up in that league is something else. You know, you always hear about it growing up playing college baseball, that the Cape is like the premier talent in college baseball, but going up there and experiencing it was a whole different thing. But I think that it definitely made me better as a baseball player, just being able to go up there and play with guys that are better than me, honestly, so that I can learn how to play that style of baseball.
Any specific things you want to see this fall, either from you or from the team?
Just attention to detail. I think that's been preached to us all fall so far, and I think guys are really taking to that. You know, how you do anything is how you do everything, and I think that's really building a culture around here that's going to get us more wins.
You'll have a really strong outfield group with you, Enzo, and Wes. You know, how do you feel about the lineup as a whole this year?
I'm really confident in what we have. I mean, we got a lot of old guys returning, but we also have a lot of new guys, young guys that are pushing the older guys to be better. A lot of the freshmen coming in have shown really good stuff so far this fall, and it's only going to push us to be better because, you know, you're always fighting for a spot. There's no spots guaranteed, so I think that's a really good thing for us.
With you just getting practices kind of started up, how long do you think it takes to get a real good feel about kind of just what this team is, and what does it take to get a good feel of what this team is?
I think first impressions are a big deal, and I think a lot of these new guys have given a great first impression so far, so we kind of know what we have just as a baseline level, but as this fall goes on, you're going to kind of see how guys compete and how they deal with adversity, and I think that's going to be a big tell of our success this season.
With Coach Sned coming in, what are some of the major differences you've seen on the mound so far?
A lot of guys are just pitching with swagger. I know we've only seen a small sample size of it so far, but we've seen so many guys go out there with just confidence, and they're just trying to fill up the strike zone, and that's all they're focused on. And it's showing to be super successful. I mean, guys are going up there competing, having fun, and it really shows the effect that he has on the pitchers.
Is there any difference in coming in and starting this fall season compared to last year, especially since you were coming in from JUCO?
Yeah, I think obviously being a senior, just kind of like the senior leadership that's going on. I think guys are taking really well to it, and honestly, even the freshmen, like, they're picking up on it. They're starting to lead as well, and that's a really good thing to see, because guys coming in from high school, like, maybe they're not so comfortable, but they're really taking on a role that is a leadership role, and I think that's something really cool to see, and it's gonna help build a really good culture around here.
Now making the Big 12 tournament, does that give you a little more urgency this fall to get it right going into the spring?
Obviously, that's a little blow from last year, but we really are just looking to put that in the past and really focus on what's ahead. Obviously, that's going to be in the back of our minds. It's hard to ignore, but like I said, I mean, we're just focused on the future. We're focused on the right now. So.
Obviously, a long time until the season gets started, but just how important are these early practices to set that foundation for when you're getting closer to the season?
Super important, and it's important in culture building, really, and just kind of getting guys that are new to the program kind of used to how we do things. And once they get comfortable in the program, they're able to kind of just be themselves. They aren't pressing as much, and I think that's important to get that going as early as possible so they can kind of get in a groove before you get into the season.
Going back to playing kickoff, just what were some of the moments that you felt like you were growing or learning things that you could bring to the team?
Surprisingly enough, the failure that I experienced. Like I said, I mean, the talent there was unbelievable, and seeing some of those arms hitting with a wood bat, kind of coming off a month off and not seeing live pitching, that failure kind of taught me of like who I am as a player and what I need to fall back on when I'm struggling, and that'll definitely help me in this coming season.
Ethan, how good does it feel to be back and stuff?
Oh, it's awesome. Love being back at Baylor, over the summer, just itching back to get in Waco and see all the new guys too. It's been fun started this year to see them.
How long does it take to kind of blend everything, with the new guys coming in and returners coming back? How long does that take?
I would say for the past few years it's taken a fall, but this group has been, really close. We're hanging out after practice, we're hanging out in the morning, eating breakfast together. So this group really close, really early on, so it's good to see.
How does it feel to come in as, a veteran? You're only a junior, but you're one of the guys that's been out there a lot.
Yeah. Doesn't feel like I'm a veteran, but looking back on it, I've been here for 2 years. So, it's good to drop some knowledge for the freshmen because I've definitely been there. So it's good, but I'm also learning from other guys all the time because you got guys from other colleges, so learning from them as well.
Getting Coach Ned, how has he kind of improved your game so far?
He's awesome, man. He's brought a lot. His demeanor, it changes things. I think you'll see it in these scrimmages. Guys are filling up the zone, and he's teaching me new things and all that stuff. So it's really good, and he's using a lot of the technology to kind of bring everything together, but also bringing that we got those strikes mentality, and just the new mentality, I would say, is different and better.
Anything specific you want to do this fall? Like, whether you've worked on it in the summer or what that you want to do this fall?
Yeah, just continue to develop my pitches, make everything a little harder, a little faster, making sure I have a couple different pitches that I can throw in different counts and stuff, so just kind of adding stuff to my repertoire.
You had a great year last year. How much confidence did that give you going into the offseason and going into the fall to work on your game?
Yeah, it was a good year last year, but you got to turn the page. No one cares what you did last year. It's all about the present, but it's definitely good to look back and know that that's what I can do, so it just keeps me working harder.
Obviously, every pitcher always says they're going to do the job that they're given, but for you, having a little bit of starting experience, a little bit of bullpen experience, what's that mentality going into this fall in the season of maybe do you want to earn that starting role, or are you just okay with it?
Yeah. Obviously, everyone wants to earn a starting role, but at the end of the day, you got to compete out here in the fall. You got to compete early in the spring. So I'll be ready for whatever coach gives me and whatever role this team needs.
You talked about turning the page. Is that big for the team to do too? Obviously last year was disappointing. Turn the page, go to this year.
Yeah, always got to be turning the page. Even when you have a good day, you got to turn the page. That's just what baseball is. Someday you're going to go 3 for 3, 4 for 4. Next day you're 0 for 4. So it's always about turning the page, and we got a new good group of guys, so we'll turn the page with them.
Who are some of the young arms who have really kind of caught your attention so far?
Carson Bailey has been a really good arm. A lot of the JUCO transfer arms are really good. Fill up the zone a lot. Grayson Murray is a different look. So we have a lot of different things that we've added and a lot of strike throwers, which is definitely good.